I'm always talking about how you should get mentioned in your audience's sources of influence. And look, here we have a great example. This AI design reviewer, which is a Figma plugin, was mentioned in this relatively popular product design newsletter. In fact, it's in SparkToro's list of things that are influential in this particular field. And why might it be that if you're getting mentioned in this newsletter, why would it be that you wouldn't see huge impactful results, like lots of people going and clicking on the link and checking you out and all that kind of stuff? Well, Britt Klon's here, who I'm a big fan of. Britt is a PR specialist. She helps people get into their audience's sources of influence. And she is noting one of the biggest problems that I see, and one of the biggest reasons I think this tactic is underinvested in, which is a spot on the Today Show, a feature in Forbes, a top podcast appearance. That will not make an overnight difference. What we are talking about here, what I'm talking about, what Britt is talking about, what anybody in PR or sources of influence or marketing at all will tell you is you cannot expect one thing, one big feature in exactly the right place at exactly the right time with exactly the right messaging to suddenly blow up your whole analytics and send you all the right traffic. That's not how any of this works. For SparkToro, it's not how it works. Like we've never been mentioned in one place and then suddenly tons of people came to us. No, what happens is, if you're looking at a search keyword like AI prototyping, there's all these different sources of affinity, right? All of these high affinity websites and YouTube channels and subreddits and podcasts, all this kind of stuff. And if you are consistently mentioned time after time, again and again in these places, 10, 15, 20, 30 times, so that when anyone's journey with AI prototyping starts, they find you through Google, they find you through the places they're paying attention to, they find you through, Substacks as well. That's when things really change. That's when you have real impact. It is a bunch of these things. It is not one of these things. Look, I think Britt just has a ton of wisdom here. And she mentions this podcast guest, Beth, who was talking about the same thing. Don't get confused and think one mention equals success, or that you can look at a mention or a handful and say, that didn't work, therefore we shouldn't invest. That's not how it works. You need to have those multiple touches over time in all the sources of influence in order to have real lasting impact. But when you do, it is transformative.